If you're comparing FreJun, Exotel, and Knowlarity right now, pause for a second, because picking the wrong one doesn't just cost you a subscription fee, it costs your sales team 3 to 6 months of rework. Wrong IVR logic, broken CRM sync, agents logging calls manually. I'll show you exactly how these three stack up without the marketing spin. In the next 6 minutes, I'm going to compare FreJun, Exotel, and Knowlarity across the 8 things that actually matter when you're buying: pricing, IVR, CRM integration depth, support, setup time, reporting, use case fit, and scalability. This is specifically for Indian B2B teams, founders, RevOps leaders, sales heads running mid-market and growing businesses. I'll tell you where FreJun genuinely wins, where Exotel is the smarter pick, and where Knowlarity actually makes more sense. Let's start with the thing that kills most deals before they begin: pricing. And here's where it gets interesting, because 2 of these 3 platforms don't even publish their prices clearly. FreJun publishes its pricing openly, 1,349 rupees per user per month for India, or $16.99 per user per month globally. You know what you're paying before you get on a call. Exotel uses a credit-based model that starts around 9,999 rupees for about 5 months on the entry plan, but the real cost depends on call volume, SMS usage, and add-ons, so the number on the website rarely matches what you actually pay. Knowlarity doesn't publish standard public pricing at all in most cases. You're quoted based on your setup, your call volume, and whatever the sales team negotiates. Now, here's the honest part. Credit-based pricing isn't inherently bad. If your call volume fluctuates wildly month to month, Exotel's model can work in your favor. But if you're a growing B2B sales team adding seats predictably every quarter, per-user pricing is cleaner to budget and easier to scale. Quick myth bust. Myth: cheaper per-minute rates always mean lower total cost. Reality: hidden charges for numbers, setup fees, IVR changes, and integration support often blow up the real bill. Ask for a full quote, including every add-on, before you compare. Next, IVR. All 3 platforms offer IVR, call routing, and business hours logic. That's table stakes in 2026. The real differences show up in 2 places: how fast you can change your IVR flow and whether changes cost you extra. FreJun offers a self-serve IVR builder where your RevOps lead can edit flows without filing a support ticket. Exotel also has a self-serve builder and is particularly strong on multi-level IVR, with number masking built in, great for marketplaces and aggregators. Knowlarity has solid IVR capability, but user reviews on Capterra flag something important. Once your IVR is implemented, modifications can be slow and sometimes come with additional setup charges for re-recording and remapping options. This is where the gap gets real. For B2B sales teams, CRM integration isn't a nice-to-have. It's the whole point. You want every outbound call auto-logged, every recording attached to the right lead, every missed call triggering a follow-up task. FreJun is built CRM first. Native integrations with HubSpot, Salesforce, Zoho, Pipedrive, Freshsales, LeadSquared, and more, with 2-way sync for call logs, recordings, dispositions, and notes. This is where FreJun genuinely differentiates for sales-led teams. Exotel offers CRM integrations too. They're solid, but often positioned as API-driven, which means you may need engineering help for the deeper stuff, like custom field mapping. Knowlarity has Zoho, Salesforce, and help desk integrations. Users praise the Zoho setup specifically, but the ecosystem is narrower than FreJun's. Quick myth 2. Myth: all CRM integrations are the same. Reality: there's a massive difference between "we have a Zapier connector" and native 2-way sync with custom field mapping. Ask the vendor to show you exactly what fields sync, in which direction, and what happens when a call is missed. If they hesitate, that's your answer. Support: this is where user reviews get brutally honest. On G2 and Capterra, all 3 platforms have mixed reviews, because honestly, Every telephony vendor has bad support days. But there are patterns. FreJun users consistently mention fast response times and a hands-on onboarding team, which matters for mid-market buyers who don't have an in-house telephony admin. Exotel is reliable for core support, but reviewers note that advanced or custom requests can slow down. Knowlarity has strong loyalists, especially in enterprise accounts, but some reviews flag slower resolution cycles and issues with modifications post-setup. Bottom line, if you're a 20 to 200 seat team without a dedicated telephony ops person, responsive support is worth paying for. Setup time. FreJun's onboarding is typically measured in days, sometimes hours for smaller teams, because the dashboard is self-serve and most integrations are one click. Exotel is also fast for standard setups, though custom IVR logic or deep CRM integration can push it to a couple of weeks. Knowlarity tends to be the longest, partly because of the managed setup model we mentioned earlier, partly because post-implementation changes often go back through their team. Reporting. For a sales-led team, you need more than just call logs. You need agent performance dashboards, talk time analysis, missed call tracking, call disposition reports, and ideally, conversation intelligence. FreJun and Exotel both offer real-time dashboards and historical reports out of the box. Exotel has been in the market longer, and their reporting is mature, especially for high-volume contact center use cases. FreJun's analytics are tuned for sales teams specifically, things like rep productivity, call outcomes by campaign, and CRM-linked performance metrics. Final myth. More features in the analytics dashboard equals better reporting. Reality. The best reporting is the one your team actually uses every week. If your reps can't open a dashboard and see their own performance in 10 seconds, no amount of features matters. Ask for a live demo with your actual use case, not a canned walkthrough. Now the big question, which one is right for your team specifically? For B2B sales teams, outbound heavy, CRM dependent, lead follow-up focused, FreJun is the cleanest fit. The CRM depth, the sales-focused analytics, and the per-user pricing align with how sales teams actually work. Let me give you the honest verdict. Best for startups and growing mid-market B2B sales teams. FreJun. Transparent pricing, CRM depth, fast setup, sales-native analytics. Best for enterprise complexity with managed setup. Knowlarity. If you have compliance-heavy flows, a Zoho-first stack, and prefer a managed implementation, it fits. Best for sales-led teams specifically. FreJun. The CRM integration depth and sales-focused reporting are built for this exact use case. Best for support-heavy or high-volume contact center workflows. Exotel. Their depth here is genuine. Best value for money for mid-market. FreJun. Per-user transparency, plus the depth you actually need without enterprise overhead. None of these three are bad platforms. They're built for different shapes of teams. Before you sign anything, run this checklist. 1. Is the pricing on paper the same as the pricing in the quote? 2. Can your RevOps lead edit the IVR without raising a ticket? 3. Does the CRM integration sync call logs, recordings, and dispositions two-way? 4. Is there a named onboarding manager and an SLA? 5. Can they share 2 customer references in your team size and industry? 6. What does it cost to add 10 more seats next quarter? 7. How fast can you go live? If any of these gets a vague answer, dig deeper before signing. If you're actively evaluating cloud telephony right now, do 2 things. First, save this checklist and run it against every vendor you're talking to. Second, if you want to see whether FreJun is the right fit for your sales team specifically, book a short demo. Bring your actual workflow, your CRM, and your team's top 3 pain points. 20 minutes will tell you more than 20 marketing pages. Link in the description. Either way, good luck and don't sign anything until every checkbox is green. Thank you. Have a nice day.